Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along with my FAFSA Mistakes series, you now know how to avoid the most common pitfalls when filling out that all-important form. But today we need to talk about something that confuses a lot of families. It's the difference between need-based aid and merit aid. I can't tell you how many times I've had parents come to me thinking that they won't qualify for any financial aid because they make too much money. Or students who assume they don't need to worry about their GPA because they have the financial need. Both of these assumptions can cost you thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. So today I'm going to break it all down for you. Let's start with need-based aid. Need-based aid is pretty straightforward. It's money awarded to you based on your family's financial situation. The college looks at what your family can reasonably afford to pay. This is called your Student Aid Index, or SAI. And then they try to fill the gap between that amount and the cost of attendance. Here is what qualifies for need-based aid. First, there's federal aid programs. This includes Pell Grants, which can be worth up to around $7,400 per year and don't need to be repaid. There are also subsidized federal student loans where the government pays the interest while you're still in school. And there's also work study, which helps you earn money through part-time campus jobs. Second, there's institutional need-based aid. This is money that comes directly from the college itself. Some schools, particularly well-endowed private universities, have incredibly generous need-based aid programs. We're talking about schools that will meet 100% of demonstrated financial need. Schools like Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, and Yale have policies where families making under a certain income, oftentimes at $75,000 to $100,000, pay nothing at all. Third, there's state grants. Many states offer need-based grants for residents attending in-state schools. Now, here's what you need to know. Need-based aid requires the FAFSA form we've been talking about. Without it, you won't be considered for any federal aid or most institutional need-based aid. Some private schools also require the CSS profile, which is an even more detailed financial form that is used by about 400 colleges. Here's a crucial point that surprises many families. You might qualify for need-based aid even if you think you make too much money. A family making $120,000 or even $150,000 could still receive need-based aid if they're looking at expensive private schools. Don't self-select out of this process. Now let's take a look at merit aid, which is a completely different beast. Merit aid is awarded based on what you have achieved, not what you need. Colleges use merit aid to attract students they really want. Think of it as a recruiting tool. They're trying to build a diverse, talented incoming class, and they'll offer money to get the students who will help them do that. So what qualifies for merit aid? The most common is academic merit. This is typically based on your GPA, class rank, and standardized test scores. Many public universities have automatic merit scholarships with published thresholds. For example, a school might offer $10,000 per year to any student with a 3.7 GPA and a 1400 SAT. These are often called assured or guaranteed scholarships. But it's not just about grades. There's also talent-based merit aid for things like athletics, performing arts, debate, or visual arts. And there's also special characteristic merit aid. Some schools offer scholarships for students planning to major in a particular field, students from underrepresented geographic areas, or students who will add diversity to the campus. Here's what makes Merit Aid so powerful. It has nothing to do with your family's income. A student from a family making $30,000 a year and a student from a family making $300,000 a year could both receive the same merit scholarship if they have similar credentials. You don't even need to demonstrate financial need. That said, and this is important, some schools do have merit scholarships that also consider need. These are sometimes called merit aware or preferential packaging scholarships. The school might have a limited merit budget and they'll prioritize giving it to high achieving students who also have financial need. Most merit scholarships require a separate application or essay, though some schools will automatically consider all applicants. You need to check each school's website and pay close attention to deadlines. Many merit scholarship deadlines are earlier than regular admission deadlines, sometimes by even a month or two. So let's take a look at some of the key differences between need-based aid and merit aid, because this is where families can get confused. We're going to take a look at the eligibility, application requirements, predictability, and school variation. So in regards to eligibility, need-based aid looks at your wallet, whereas merit aid looks at your achievements. For application requirements, need-based aid requires the FAFSA and sometimes the CSS profile. Merit aid requires a separate scholarship application, essays, portfolio submissions, additions, or interviews. Predictability. Need-based aid changes as your family's financial situation changes. If a parent loses their job, your need-based aid will adjust accordingly. Merit aid, on the other hand, stays relatively consistent for all 4 years as long as you maintain certain GPA requirements. This is typically a GPA of a 3.0 or higher. Now, school variation. This is huge. Some schools are incredibly generous with need-based aid, but offer little to no merit aid. Think of the Ivy League schools. They offer 0 merit scholarships, only need-based aid. Other schools, particularly public universities who are trying to attract out-of-state students, offer substantial merit aid, but less generous need-based aid. Now, here's where things can get really interesting for your college planning strategy. You might be wondering, can you go get both merit aid and need-based aid? Absolutely. This is called stacking, and it's one of the best ways to make college affordable. You might get a $15,000 merit scholarship from the school, plus $6,000 in Pell Grants, plus $3,500 in subsidized loans, plus $2,000 from work study. That's over $26,000 in aid from multiple sources. However, and this is critical, some schools have policies against stacking. They might reduce your need-based aid dollar for dollar when you receive merit aid, which means the merit aid scholarship doesn't actually save you money. This is called displacement, and you need to ask the financial aid office directly about this. Here is my strategic advice. Apply to a balanced mix of schools. Include some meets full need schools where your family's financial need will be met with generous institutional aid, but also include schools where you're in the top 25% of admitted students academically. These are your best bets for large merit scholarships because you're the kind of student they're trying to attract. And remember, you need to complete the FAFSA even if you think you're going to get merit aid. Why? Because some schools require it to be considered for merit scholarships, and you want to keep all of your options open. Plus, you'll be eligible for unsubsidized federal loans regardless of income, which are often much better than private loans. So the bottom line, understanding the key difference between merit aid and need-based aid gives you power. You can make strategic decisions about where to apply, how to position yourself as an applicant, and how to maximize your financial aid package. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more college planning content. If you would like to get some more individualized help, feel free to reach out to me with the contact information on the screen. I'll see you next time.